Let's talk about the Black Stars. Gabi Ofe, nice to see you in your Magpies.
The Toon Army.
Charlie, against phone, you know.
The Toon.
Anyway, Jamie Tasusu Graham, Coach Christopher, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about the Black Stars.
Panorama. We didn't have Panorama last
We did it. Actually, I was in the stadium. I was baseline, saw a lot of interesting things.
Including Benjamin Asare.
Yeah, Charlie.
Before we talk about the Black Stars, I'm going to take over coach's work. I'm not happy with Kofi Adams. I'm not happy.
Straight up.
I'm not happy.
That's where you want to go right now?
I'm not happy.
Hold on,
if we're talking about the Black Stars,
hold
I'm
on.
not happy.
I'll come there. I'll come to you in a bit.
Are you sure you
So let me just do a few intro.
Come on. When anybody hit money hit and I can't say no.
So a few things I just want to say before we get into the players. It's the players and the game itself. So this has to do with a problem regarding the Accra Sports Stadium. And today we did publish some news. I saw Gabi's interview with NSA boss Ampofo Ankra about the closure of the stadium. Ampofo Ankra says that he's inspected the ground and he's literally shocked at some of the revelations after the inspection. He says they're not even fully done. He's kind of surprised at some of the things they found out. Look, I experienced something that I was not happy about. I said it on Scorecard. I repeat it again, just a couple of minutes. So there was a section of the stadium that was supposed to have been cordoned off because the railings were weak, and so any push from the fans who were a little overexcited and you risk somebody falling over onto the lower deck, breaking their neck, anything could happen. Now, the Accra Sports Stadium is a 40,000 capacity stadium. I am no magician, but just looking with my eyes, I could tell that we were close to 50,000 or more in the stadium because the ground was packed to the rafters. The inner perimeter between the seats, the inner barricade and the field had human beings everywhere. You could not stand anywhere. Crowd control was very questionable on the day. A lot of the police personnel deployed spent more time watching the game and analyzing the game with journalists than actually doing their job. I just wasn't happy because look, there have been plenty times where there's a football match, we have time to plan, open multiple gates, let entry into the game be free flowing, prevent casualties. We never did these things. Limited the entry of the fans or supporters to few gates. Ground took in more people than it could contain. We kept allowing more people in, and then people went to sit in the section that had been cordoned off with the advertising banners.
That's the upper
and
terrace.
Then when the game ended, the stadium announcer was saying that those of you who went to sit at that place, make sure that you don't hold the railings on your way down. Really people, look, we are literally sitting on a time bomb. The next time we have a game at the Accra Sports Stadium, God forbid, some incident happens or occurs and somebody does something that triggers another fan and any confusion starts, there will be chaos at the stadium because there were more people. Like I'm saying, there was clearly over 40,000 people in that ground. I don't think there were enough police people in there to deal with the crowd if anything had gone south. I don't think that security was taken seriously enough for me. Now, outside of this incident, another thing happened that I found really appalling. So 3 times Ghana scored, and 3 times the ball boys that we had recruited ran onto the pitch to hug our players and celebrate with the players. I mean,
it was caught on TV too.
What's going on? Especially the Jordan incident. Like when Jordan scored the penalty, it wasn't 1 ball boy, it wasn't 2, they weren't 3.
It was all of them.
Like they literally ran onto the pitch and hugged Jordan. What? In the World Cup qualifier.
The streets love Jordan. The streets love Jordan.
I was appalled.
If Otuado did it,
I was extremely disappointed. And I'm surprised that it happened once, nothing happened, twice, nothing happened, and thrice, nothing happened. So the NSA and the GFA, you were in charge of organizing the game. The NSA, as the landlord, was in charge of giving out the venue. The GFA, as the federation, were in charge of organizing security, logistics, and everything concerning this game. Look, we might have won the game, we might have gotten our 6 points, clean sheets to boot, but this this situation,
Work to be done.
this
Lots of
situation
work to be done.
is a disaster waiting to happen.
But
I'm
I
telling you.
want to say two things. Based on what you said. First of all, with the ball boy situation, them not being professional there, that's an issue. But what was their training for these ball boys? Let's be fair
First
to them
question,
that they are children, right?
Yep.
Usually they are children.
Oh no, these people were not children. I mean,
so
I
they were
was,
ball men.
no, I was close to them.
So they were ball men.
I would say they would be between the ages of
18.
13 to no, not 13. Let's say between 14 to about 20 years. So let's say they were
So
all
we had some ball men.
yeah. So
That
they,
one-
they are all pretty like they can all think for
So
themselves.
I'm saying that even if they can think for themselves, what was the training? That's the question
Yeah.
I'm asking.
You need to
for.
know your boundaries.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to know how they were trained. Is it that they were trained and they disregarded their training? Is that they weren't trained just to just go and pick the ball?
We don't know that for a fact.
Those are questions that we need to be fair to them. Because if they've not been trained and they do something,
Yeah.
that's on the people that recruited them.
Yeah.
If they were trained and they didn't do it, that's on the ball boys. So that's just something I want to say. The second thing I want to say is the worst part about this crowd thing you're talking about is they are in the exits. They are in the
They are
exits.
standing in the walkways.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you have to leave, there's a problem. And we are here talking about our fire service. They are crying that they are not adequately resourced and
Yep.
things. This is not a politics show, but we've seen the issue with the Ashanti
Fire
regional
tenders, yep.
minister and blah blah blah. Interior minister said maybe we should do levy for them. And so our fire people who are going to be the first responders in case there's a fire, a stampede or something, they are not well resourced. So if we allow this to happen, we are going to make the potential disaster worse because the people who are meant to go, NADMO and things, they complain about their funding all the time.
Yeah.
These are people who you cannot truly trust in times of a disaster, but they're the people who have to be there for you. So if you're going to put them in a situation to make their job more difficult by overcrowding a stadium that you have said part of it is not safe, then you've added people, you have people in the walkways.
Yeah.
It's very irresponsible. It's actually the type of negligence that truly, I'm sure if you went to court, people will go to jail.
Look, if
Seriously.
in fact, I have messages from a certain woman who came to watch the game with her husband, right? I think she's from the States, and then she came to watch the game with her husband. Very scathing message. She sent so she sent the message to a colleague here, and the colleague said, I'll just read one of them just before I take submissions from coach on the games itself. So good. Look at this. She sent a long list of things. So it says many people paid to view the game couldn't get their seats. 1. Many people crashed the gates with the police there, and the persons who bought tickets couldn't get seats. 2. People were paying to pass through the barriers to get into the stadium. 3. The security, police and few soldiers were not enough. This is not me. This is somebody who came to watch the game. 5. There was chaos at the stadium. 6. Families with their kids couldn't get seats. 7. The stadium need CCTV cameras everywhere. Drones need to be deployed during these type of matches. Many shoes and slippers and broken glasses were left at the big gate at the VIP entrance at around 7 p.m. The head of game security or match day security is not the one to organize game day protocol. Many persons had to leave since it was standing room only in the VIP lower. VIP and VVIP were overrun with people who did not pay. 11. No one had wristbands. I'm guessing they are thinking there'll be wristbands. These are American people. Somebody and his wife from the States who came to watch the game. I don't think we ever give wristbands for these things. 12. The security plan didn't work tonight. The people have underestimated the crowd. The stadium should be open 3 hours before for only ticket holders. People without tickets should not be let into the stadium. Tonight was a big disappointment for many folks who had to stand up, leave, or watch while a non-ticketed person sat in their seat. Who was responsible for this? The tickets were not oversold because the stadium knows exactly how many seats are in the stadium. Charlie, this is one person's chronicle, no? Signed, disappointed fan with daughter, niece, and friend. Friends first time attending. It says friends first time attending a Ghana match. This is somebody's feedback. This is an outsider's feedback of the game that they watched at the Accra Sports Stadium. Coach,
in Ketia, I will not waste too much time, but I believe you've dealt with the matter. That the text that you've just read, all the messages that you've just read, came from one person.
one person. In fact, they have more. I just don't want to.
It speaks
go on.
volumes of of lack of what? Competence. We are just, you see, we are so bad at organizing such things. We are just recovering from poorly death. That thing could have gotten out of hand. We are always hoping that nothing will happen, but we are very all the time not proactive in preventing something from happening, and we need to stop that. Going forward, like the woman said, why should people who don't have ticket be allowed to enter the stadium? That is why, for me, if we can get the e-ticketing thing to work, that would be my preferred way to go.
Yeah.
Because look, anytime we've sold or bought tickets at the game, we've gone through this rubbish and nonsense time and time
don't
again.
forget that under Neil and Tevanapa, I think we saw a situation where game tickets for a certain under 20 or AFCON game
were hijacked.
In fact, no, they were re-engineered for a present Black Stars game.
Recycling.
And we couldn't account
we
all
did.
those monies. Nobody knew where they go. So look, let's say about these things, the better.
10 styles don't work. This
Now-
scan your tick, nothing.
After the two games, I've read social media. Most people are waiting to hear what I will say. I've not commented on the game, on the two games after, especially after the Madagascar game. So before I address the Madagascar game itself, I think that the Chad one were here in the studio,
Yeah.
so we looked at it in depth. Look, let nobody sit anywhere and think that those of us who were calling for the sacking of Otto Addo, we were not justified. If you are intelligent like I am, you will not endorse somebody who could supervise an AFCON qualifier, somebody who could lead this country to set the worst ever qualification history. And you, because he's beaten Chad and Madagascar, you think he's gathered enough credit in the bank.
So like bygones be bygones, no?
I'm coming. Enough credit in the bank to the extent that you look at those of us who are calling for him. Look, even the players, according to Honorable Kofi Adams, even the players said the man should be sacked. The same players who played, look, I don't want to mention him. I know of players in the team that played against Madagascar and Chad who wanted the man sacked. I don't want to put their names out there. We've not been asking for too much. This is what we've been asking for. We know our team, we know what our team is capable of doing. We know that if our team is being properly coached, we should be beating Niger, we should be beating Sudan, we should be beating what? Angola, and making it to the AFCON in Morocco. We should be beating Mali, we should be beating Chad, we should be beating Comoros, we should be beating all those teams and going to the World Cup in US and Canada. As for Mexico, I don't want to mention their name.
Tijuana.
Mexico.
Coach doesn't want to go to Chihuahua.
Tijuana.
I don't like
And
your
Tijuana.
consistent
That me
citing.
are Philadelphia, me are Tennessee,
Chicago.
me are Ontario,
San Francisco.
San Francisco,
Yeah.
Michigan,
LA.
Michigan.
Yeah. LA.
And I mentioned LA.
Los Angeles.
In LA, for me, LA, I know.
I was confused for a second.
In LA. Ingela, how do you spell that?
LA.
Fair.
Only me,
Fair.
no one ya blochi, one America can Canada, no I trouble again.
You want to go to Edmonton.
So that is factual.
Me, I'm Team Mexico. Why?
We have said
Same.
Latina.
this team has got quality. If you have a manager who could question the quality of our team, who could say that the quality of this team is not, no, don't compare this team to anybody, to any other team within their own right. The Party, the Jordan, the Semenyon, the Kudus, the whoever whatsoever, they've got quality within their own,
Plenty.
within their own right.
Plenty.
All we needed them to be, you needed to coach them properly. You needed to come in there with some form of humility and not be telling the journalists of Ghana that you talk to Jurgen Klopp and people. So what right have they got to, when somebody come with gross disrespect like that, we will treat him as such. So I am happy for Otto Addo that he's at humble what? Pie. His demeanor,
Oh, he's mellowed.
the pitch of his voice, the respect that he now speaks with. No bad job. You want to say bad job. She talking like intent, ketokreku intent konye. You are denche ba anu onyanyeshi.
What's the intent? What's that?
Ona that ketokreku stubbornness and
Stubborn academy.
I don't boogie anybody. I don't mind anybody. If you wear that hat, the good Lord will humble you. Kokoti, you know. More Ronaldo no mercy munko for mumbra. Even he himself, he has learnt from those utterances. He has learned from those utterances.
Oh, you know, coach. He apologized again at the pre-match press conference. Yes. Yes, he apologized again.
He apologized for
that.
For we not qualified to AFCON.
They were correcting what
AFCON qualified.
Oh yeah.
So those of us who were asking, it was justifiably so. You are coming into money machine.
I hope he doesn't return to factory setting before he will qualify to the World Cup.
Just not to cut you, but anyone who felt that after what he did, he should have stayed in their job, doesn't have standards.
Of
and
course.
Didn't listen to them.
You don't have standard if you think that was the way to go. But he's been kept in the job. He's been given people to help him in the job. The first time or the first way to success is for you yourself to admit that you are not up to the standard required. Therefore, if people have been brought on board, some of the things we heard about him, whether he will not listen to assistant, is all about him. Now it cannot be all about you. It cannot be all about you. That Ateta like free kick set piece, Pate bullet header, did you teach them?
Who taught them?
Oh no more.
Oh, I understand Ofe.
Akaseni. Ofe men
I
kaseni.
understand Ofe. Ofe was the one who.
Ofe men kaseni why? Ofe le min solianle. Akeshi under 20 enye bomoden. Ke bomoden pe egbina. Ke bomoden lo ele benifio ni bi. Manili. Lele. Oh ele.
You mean you hear from him? You mean if he does well,
he'll feel me good.
You root for him.
He'll feel me good.
If he doesn't,
he will feel me good. Either way, he'll feel me good.
Thank you, my brother.
I mean, it's a matter of principle.
Thank you.
Me, I don't have permanent friends. I have permanent principle. So for you to be my permanent friend, you abide by my permanent principle, and I don't need to be a friend for you and myself to work in the same room. We can do our work as professionals. We move on. You understand? So that was what we were calling for. Now let's go to the game. Look, take it or leave it. I am just advising the people at the FA. We've gotten away with it. We've gotten away with it. Why do I say we've gotten away with it? The way we prepared for that Madagascar game should never be repeated. We did same against Sudan. We paid for it. They didn't learn. So therefore, the technical team, look, I speak to people within the team. They say, coach, everything you people say, they will listen and we know what you people are saying are the obvious truth. So we now needed to go into the game against Madagascar to play smart and coach the team in a very smart way. If you understand football like I did, the day we did the Chad game, you and myself, we did agree that we needed to go a back five, we needed to do a low pressing and then wait for our moment. What were those moments? The two set pieces that gave us the first 2 goals. In the first half, we hadn't created any better team from that. It was the set piece.
In fact, in the first game, true, actually.
We didn't create anything.
No, the Madagascar game is like...
We didn't create anything in that first half. We had 2 set pieces. Salisu missed the first one. And Pate, bullet of header. But the reason I'm saying the team was smartly and well coached was the system and the role of every player in the system. We had a low block. Once we took that lead, we more or less coil into a defensive shape. And what the back five does is it prevents any of your centre backs, those 3 centre backs, it prevents any of them from being exposed.
Let me ask you specific questions, right? Something I picked out or I didn't understand was the decision to call up just one DM. I mean, we did call Elisha Owusu, but he picked up an injury.
That's right.
And so we had to play with a natural central midfielder whose tendencies were more attack-minded in Francis Abu in the second leg, along with Partey. If you look at the pool of players that we have, what is the future of that position? Because I feel like we're a Partey injury away from struggling in our subsequent
disaster.
games.
Look, I spoke to somebody very close to the technical team. You remember when we did the selection, the call-up, I pointed that thing out here.
Yep.
I said that gave this team imbalance in midfield. And I just didn't understand why they would do that. I was even of the view that Thomas Partey shouldn't have played that long against Chad. You know, he lasted the entire almost close to
80 minutes.
85 minutes against Chad. And I question that he's the only natural DM in the role. Offset, you and myself were talking off air, and we're saying that, look, I pray Partey stays fit. But from the new chemistry that is being established in this team, we need him to stay fit. But in getting him to stay fit, we need somebody who will come in and complement his effort. Over the years, we've done Salis. I don't know how well he's doing at Sunderland.
Salis is
And then we've done the boy
Baba
in Spain,
Idrisu.
Baba Idrisu. Baba Idrisu is a player I have never liked. Because in that role, you don't only win ball, you should be able to pass football.
Baba Idrisu is literally a centre back impersonating a DM.
Exactly.
And also his team, he's currently playing in the Segunda. So
Exactly.
I don't think he should be calling a Segunda player.
If Otuado and Desmond are looking,
So you're saying Walcott should be
on the Walcott, man,
We said this already.
If you say he's playing Segunda,
I've said
Walcott is playing quality.
Walcott is not even playing the championship.
but he's saying that if he's playing Segunda, he's not supposed to be called to the national team.
Yes, but Walcott is not supposed to be the national. Walcott.
I've said it many times that
No more.
if you are not playing in a top league, generally,
We only go there if you don't have players playing the top league.
yeah, that's
That's
what
when we go there.
Fair game. Let's stay
You
on.
understand? So Walcott, he's not even playing the championship. League Division 3, Joe Division 2. It's a boy.
League One.
League 1, Division 2. You understand?
The English third tier.
What Division 2?
Yeah, because there's the EPL championship, then League
So
One.
Division 2. That
Yes, Ghana version, yeah. If it's a Ghana, it's
That's
Division
why Division 2. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Let's stay on the point.
So, like I'm saying, we had to play in a certain way. You remember that? I remember that Friday. Yeah, I myself we kept highlighting the importance of Thomas Partey. The importance of Thomas Partey. It's clear. When he plays, everybody plays. When he's on that bossy controller mood, when they say you are a controller,
Oh, Charlie.
everything is based on you.
Charlie.
Ideas.
Gepetto.
The man who pays the money to the salary of
The puppet master.
the control accountant,
The string puller.
Arsenal agbene hemo kehami ya be natri kahachi beshi emo no so twa.
Can you say that in English? Hey, you, give me that. Take your time. Don't.
I'm your boss, don't rush it. This is Thomas Partey. Give it to me. Stay, move, stand, get forward. Nakatoni.